We are now live.
Okay.
Awesome. Our delay is only like 30 seconds. So I will introduce us, kick us off, and we will get into our questions. Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Black in the Saddle. I am so happy to be joined here by Coach Kamerra Brown. Not only is she just an amazing light and, just a refreshing person to be talking to, but she's also one of the speakers at the Kinship Conference, which is our very first big event for Black in the Saddle. And I'm just so thankful that she is willing to grace us with her expertise. But before we even get into that, we want to learn more about Coach Brown and where she's been, where she's going, and how we can support her in getting there. So, welcome to Black in the Saddle, Coach Brown. I'm so happy to have you.
Oh, thank you. I'm so excited to be here and share my experiences and help others. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, everyone has an origin story. So, take us back to how you found horses and what made you decide that your career needed to involve them.
Yeah. So my mom, I'll take it back to my great grandfather. They lived, and my mom and my grandma, they lived actually beside a racetrack. And so my mom always loved horses, and my great grandfather was actually a farrier. And so my mom always wanted a horse. And of course, my grandfather, he knew how expensive they were. He's like, no. So my mom always shared the story of how she got to walk one time, and it stepped on her foot, but she didn't tell anybody. She was just excited to interact with a horse and be around a horse, and that was it. And so me growing up, it's we didn't have horses, but our neighbors had horses in our backyard.
Hmm.
And so we would travel. There was a trail down in the woods to the neighbor's yard. And so we would always go and feed their horses carrots and stuff. And so that's when my love came for them. And I always wanted to ride. I always wanted to go see the horses. So at that time, they also had birthday parties where they could bring the horses and you ride them for the birthday party.
Hmm.
So I did that. I got to do that for my fifth birthday. And then my sixth birthday, they came. And then um, so finally, my mom got me a set of lessons, but it was expensive. So I got a set of lessons and I was just hooked. I wanted to ride. And so then at that time, she was like, why don't you try other sports? So I did soccer, I did track, I did basketball. I was terrible at basketball. Um, Softball was a no-go because if I was bad at basketball, oh God, a ball coming at me and I have to hit it, that was not going to be good.
Right, right.
um, but I wanted to ride. So then finally, I ventured on down there and I was going to go try to ride one of the neighbors' ponies, and it was like a little pony. It was just for show. It wasn't to be ridden or anything, but I didn't know that. And then so they stopped me before danger could have occurred. And so then that's when it's like, okay, she's serious about this. So
Hmm.
I got another set of lessons when I was 9, and then that was it. I was hooked since then. Um, yeah. And I just, anything that I could do, I did it. I was working, like I was cleaning stalls. I was learning how to be good at it so I can financially afford it.
Right.
So that was really what it was, just my love and my passion. I just made sure that I could be able to stay in it kind of thing.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, as horse people, we or there should be a common understanding that just because you are good with horses doesn't mean you are good in developing people and like training people on the horse. So what was that
Mhm.
shift for you? How did you find that you were also good at training others and coaching others and developing their horsemanship?
Oh, that's a really good question. Um, I actually feel I was very lucky and very blessed that the riding farm that I did get to take lessons at, it was a huge riding establishment. So there was lots of kids, lots of different trainers there, and they also had what was called an American Interschool Riding Team. And so it was basically a competition that mimicked the collegiate riding, but it was a competition between all the neighboring barns.
Mm,
So you would compete against other barns. And so that's where that growing up with the one instructor and getting to know all the different kids and then just that community, and then helping one another because of the team environment.
mhm.
um, that's where I still at that point didn't think I would be good at helping others or coaching others. Actually, I still believed that I was going to go be a vet.
Mhm.
And but I didn't realize until I got to college that the only reason I wanted to be a veterinarian is because I thought that that was the only way I could afford my horse habit. And so, fast forward a little bit, I did run track in high school and I was really good at track. I did have a lot of college offers for track, but I always said that track was a love hate relationship. I did enjoy running, but the practicing was not enjoyable.
Yeah.
But it's fine. So then, when the scholarship offer came in for me to ride at Delaware State University, which is the only HBCU with a Division I NCAA team, I took it. Um, it was a smaller campus, and actually, I never heard of an HBCU until I visited Delaware State.
Mhm.
And I would not change that. I wouldn't change a thing. I got some lifelong best friends there, and I learned a lot as a person.
Yeah.
Um, and then we will circle back to about why later in a bit. But
Yeah.
during then, again, team environment, helping my teammates.
Yeah.
Um, that's where I just remember some lessons, like even my teammates looked to me as a captain for help, and they would, hey, I'm struggling with this horse, or hey, I'm struggling with this pattern. Can you help me? Can you
Mhm.
help me after school? And so, yeah, I would help them and ideas that I thought of, and we would bounce ideas off of each other. So that was helpful. And then when I graduated, the coach at South Dakota State had asked me if what was I going to do, and she asked if I wanted to get my master's there and then help the team. And I said absolutely, because I was kind of already groomed a little bit, helping, like I said, growing up, helping with the
Mhm.
team, and then helping with my college team. So I said, absolutely. And then I was going to get my master's in equine nutrition and then go off to vet school.
Mhm. Oh, that was still
But
the plan?
again, I spent, yes, it was still the plan. My plan did not change until we are still very good friends today. And she actually gave me my first job. Her name is Dr. Meredith Vargas,
Mhm.
and she owned a vet clinic in town. So when I was in high school, I worked there in the kennels because I wanted to be a vet. And I still talk to her today. I do credit her as being one of my mentors as well. And people call me KK. And I remember I was struggling in monogastric nutrition. And I had called her up. I know that's just learning one stomach. I didn't
I
realize I had to learn that there's other stomachs. And I was like, how am I going to get through that? I can't even learn about one stomach.
know.
And she said, KK, why do you want to be a vet? Because again, like, yeah, why am I struggling so much if this is what my passion is? And the truth is instead of being in my cubicle studying, I was helping the girls on the team again. And she was like, why do you want to be a vet? And then my first response was to support my horse habit. And then she's like, that's not a reason to want to be a vet. It
Mhm.
sounds like your passion is coaching and teaching, and you're really good. And I said, oh, okay. So, I mean, she's right. So then
Mhm.
I changed my major to um, sport and recreational sciences with an emphasis in coaching and teaching. And that was the best decision ever. Haven't looked back. But
Oh,
yeah.
I love that. I love as someone who was also pre-vet, I completely get it.
hmm
And I love it when I did a podcast episode with my mentor, Dr. Kennedy, who is a small ruminant and camelid vet. And I will never forget, he's allergic to horses, so he didn't work with horses, but I
oh,
will never forget
uh-huh.
him asking me about teaching. And I told him I didn't want to be in the classroom. And he said, "Who told you that teaching only happens in a classroom?" And that was like what
Ooh, that was good. Yeah.
broke my I was like, I don't know who told me that. And that changes everything.
hmm
So yeah, I we love those mentors that understand that you came to them for a reason, but they are comfortable enough with you to tell you what they
hmm
see in you. And it's oftentimes the
Yeah.
things you can't see in yourself.
Yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely
But,
right.
you know, this podcast is called Black in the Saddle for a reason. You built a career in spaces where a lot of people did not look like you. Um, how did that impact your journey, and how does it continue to impact your journey?
Um, Growing up, no, I didn't see a lot of people like me, but I also credit my barn family. And like I said, when I say barn family, that community that I grew up riding under and in, my trainers were wonderful. The riders and families around me were wonderful. They didn't treat me any differently.
Mhm.
And so then with that, I didn't see differently either.
Mhm.
And as I talk about that, this is really deep and personal, but you gotta talk about it because others might feel that way or kind of like. So I didn't see it any differently. Actually, I thought I was white. I just thought that I was really tan.
Mhm. Okay.
Um, and so I didn't see it differently. However, if you talk to my mom, yes, our family was great, but yes, she would feel so uncomfortable sometimes because we were the only ones.
Mhm.
And she never let me see it. But later on, as we're older, she's like, oh my gosh, yes, it was so uncomfortable. But luckily, we had a great barn family, so I didn't feel any different, but it's still uncomfortable.
Mhm.
And um, and I know I am very blessed in the sense of I know others have not had that same experience.
Yeah.
And especially if you talk about older horsemen that I've spoken with, that is not their experience. That is not their journey.
Mhm.
And so I do feel very blessed and I do feel very lucky that I didn't have to encounter some of the things that they had to encounter. But also, too, it goes to show that there is growth as well. So I do see both sides.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
for me, my biggest thing is if you see it, then you believe it. So I wished I would have saw someone like me, and I wish I would have saw someone that was as approachable as me. I
Mm.
wish there was someone there that I could talk to or reach out to. So that's what I feel like I enjoy being that. Like
Mhm.
I'm happy to help. I've had students fly in with whatever college that I'm at and just be like, hey, give it to me straight. Do you think I can make it on a Division 1 team, or should I be on a club team, or I'm really good at field hockey? What do you think? Like, and just to have that they trust in me, and it's not a, or okay, this is what I want to do. Can you help me get there?
Right.
And that is really, I enjoy that, and I love to see people going after their dreams and their passions and working towards it and getting what they've been striving for.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, being the first Black woman head coach at a Division 1 um collegiate equestrian school or team of a collegiate equestrian team. Um I don't feel like any of us, pursue our dreams to be the first. It's just kind of something that
Yeah.
we we discover after the fact. Like I was just
Mhm.
minding my
Yeah.
business, but truly, there hasn't been anyone
Yes.
else. Oh, okay, okay, I'll be the first. And in 2026, we're still very much having a lot of firsts when it comes to being Black
Yeah.
people, Black women in the horse industry. So, what does that mean to you? And does it influence, um, the decisions that you're making going forward at all?
Yes, it does.
Mhm.
It is a huge influence actually now where I am today. Um, When I was a professor in Missouri, that school was the oldest equestrian degree in the United States. And actually, um, they have a program, it's William Woods University. They have a program where they do saddle seat, they do Western, they do dressage, and they do hunter jumper. And it's educational for horsemen. It's not just riding classes. They have leathersmith class. They have communications and marketing. Um, that's just I'm just doing a tip of the iceberg of all the opportunities that they offer, and it's just because everyone thinks, um, okay, you're equestrian, so you just ride. But I loved on your live feed previously how you were like, no, technically we're farmers.
Mhm.
And it's true.
Mhm.
It's very true. And I was walking our fields today and looking at our alfalfa, looking at our orchard grass, and thinking about our bedding hay. And it's just, yeah, we're farmers. And
Yep.
so there's so much to it than just exercising, riding your horse, showing, and then that's it. There's more to it. And I do feel institutions like William Woods, it's as we talk about these older horsemen, they're passing away. Where is that knowledge going? So here and so then you have to think about where are the opportunities where people can get that education to progress and to keep moving forward. We all love horses, we do. So how do we take care of them? And it's not just feeding them. What about farriers? Your farriers are they're starting to dwindle. Then you have the equine vets.
Mm.
So there's different avenues that you can be involved with the horses,
Yeah.
but where are people getting that education and realizing that? Um,
Yeah.
and so here, this farm, the Nokomis Farm Foundation, um, it's endowed by Miss Diana Dodge. And Miss Diana Dodge, she was the USHJ Lifetime Achievement Award winner in 2011. And I was on a 9-month contract as a professor, so I got my summers off. And
Mhm.
so I would come and ride and show her horses here. And she always wanted to help young professionals.
Yeah.
She always wanted to make the sport accessible.
Mhm.
And she always felt that, again, what I'm talking about right now is, where is that opportunity coming? The
Right.
horses give us so much. It's not just for sport. We use
Mhm.
them for therapeutic items. We do so much, and they teach us so much. And it's kind of, they don't talk back, but they
Mhm.
give us so much. So it's kind of like, I'm so excited where this is more aligned with me
Yeah.
giving back, and also being face for that. I always think about it as 5-year-old me out there.
Mhm.
What would I want
Where
to
she
see? And
Yeah.
this is what I would want to see.
Yeah. Yeah. Um I love that you give us some insight into, this new space that you are in, because I know that recently you have had ups and downs and have had to really navigate through just a challenging time in your career. Can you tell us a little bit about how you have had to be resilient in that like messy middle? Because I don't ever want students coming
Yeah.
into this industry just to think it's like rainbows and ponies and sunshine all the time. There's already the hardship that comes with dealing with horses
Mhm.
and they're just being alive or challenging that. But then there's also just the hard times that come with choosing a career in this industry. Can you give us some insight into that?
Um, it all goes into your character.
Mhm.
If you have to question your character and your ethics,
Mhm.
that is either not the job that you should be in, or, um, you know what, just simple as that.
Yeah.
If your character is questioned, and when I say questioned, not going about your belief. And when I say belief, I'm taking it down to, my cousin at a very young age was very much into faith. She gave me the teachings of Jesus Christ, went to church, went to Bible camp. And during these rough patches, I had to lean on him. I had
Mhm.
to lean on him.
Mhm.
And that actually, I guess, I can't even speak upon it, because that was the most powerful thing for me, was
Mm.
to grab onto my faith.
Yeah.
And once I grabbed onto my faith of what has been instilled, it was kind of like, okay. And then also to the horse community. I
Mm.
have built a reputation, and horses have connected a community and friendships that people saw, that some people were like, why are they saying untrue statements about you? Like,
Yeah.
it's, and so actually during this time, the horse community really rallied
Mhm.
and really stepped behind. And when I say the horse community from all different aspects, not just the hunter jumper world,
Right.
not just USHJ world. I mean, um, I have you. I have Black in the Saddle. I have, um, and I know he won't care if I say his name, Aoife from Aoife Fit. Like,
Yeah.
just different aspects of the community reaching out and how can I help? And I know I'm just leaving out. I have to mention this name. Her name is Lee Nickel, and she was who first recruited me at Delaware State.
Mm.
And she started the program there when it first started.
Mhm.
And then, of course, Delaware State has only had 2 head coaches, and the first one, Lee, who started it, and then Jennifer Ridgely, who's been there for over 20 years now. Um,
Yes, I
just
met
that,
her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. So just that that support and them reaching out and, "What do you need? How can we help?" And, um, those are just a very few names to drop in the bucket, but
Mhm.
I can't be more thankful than that, and that's where it's the horse community is bigger than what we think, and we're actually a very loving, caring, supportive group.
Yeah.
I know it might seem that we're so big, but I feel as though when things get rocky, everyone pulls together.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that is oftentimes because we know that it can happen to any of us at any
Yes.
moment,
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
I see that a lot within, you know, just the different communities that I'm in the horse industry as well. There's just like we get it. We get it. You know, troubles with horses,
Yeah.
we get it. Troubles with rigs, trouble with the farm, you know, we get it. And so we're a
Mhm.
lot more inclined to pull together quickly than to just not do anything. That's just not the nature of a lot of people in this industry. But you are building out a new program. You know, I have been watching
Yes.
you, you know, share your perspective and share your story. And I'm so happy that I get to be a part of bringing your story out into the world. But tell me about your vision for what you're building now and what gap you feel like it's filling that may not be addressed maybe in your area or in your discipline.
So, what I am so excited about, we're still building, but the vision is everyone talks about accessibility. We
Mhm,
can provide that. Diana Dodge, she created an endowment for the foundation, so we can give back. We can give back. So I can have clinicians in. I can provide that accessibility. I can provide free clinics.
mhm,
I can provide that opportunity. It's, I feel like for so long, you may feel like, oh, I can't ride. They're so expensive. I can't go. Now you can. Now you
mhm,
can. And we can provide a horse for you. And that's just with clinics or the vet possibility. So I know sometimes, when it comes to the vet, it's private information. You can't ask those questions. You
mhm,
can't look at those x-rays. Here, we're going to have vets here and they're going to be giving free clinics.
mhm.
And you can ask those questions.
Yeah.
Same thing with the farrier. Providing those opportunities for people that want to learn and be better horsemen or just be, is that an avenue that they want to take in the industry?
Yeah.
Um, and it's not just horse stuff. Yes, we're fully moving around horses, but we'll also provide other opportunities to church families, church organizations, um, the what is it, the master naturalists that talk about the different plants and
Mhm,
birds and
mhm.
how they help our economy. And so just lots of different opportunities that I'm excited that this foundation is going to provide, and you don't have to spend an arm and a leg just to get that education.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me where is it located?
It's in Orange, Virginia. It's like 10 minutes away from Montpelier, Virginia,
Mhm.
which is the museum for James Madison.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Is that Northern Virginia?
Um, it's not too far. So I'm an hour and 20 minutes from Richmond, which is in Northern Virginia, and that's our capital.
Okay. 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 I was just up in Lorton,
Ooh,
Virginia.
that's yeah, that's about hour 30 minutes from us.
Okay.
It's around
Okay.
that area.
Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. I'm gonna have to
Mhm.
come visit, but I just wanted to uh, you know, understand where you are going and what your sights where you have your sights set for the future because, you know, when I see people who are equally passionate about sharing their knowledge and sharing information and making sure other people have access to it, I'm like, okay, those are my folks. Let me keep an eye on them. Let me make sure if they need something, like if I have it, if I know somebody who has it, I'm like, "Hey, I saw you post about this. This is what we have going on." And I remember even all the way back, I don't even know, maybe it was 2023 when we did the collegiate equestrian panel. Um,
Oh, yes.
I
Yeah.
way long ago. you were
Mhm.
um you were just a wealth of information then, and I was like, "Oh, okay. This is someone who has this just in the fabric of their being." And so I am so happy that you're going to be part of the kinship conference in November. And this is something that I'm asking all of the speakers, but what does the word kinship mean to you?
Oop, you kind of,
Did I freeze?
yeah, you froze a little bit.
Okay, okay, that's all
You
right.
froze on the, okay.
So the question is, what does the word kinship mean to you?
Kinship, basically connection,
Mhm.
connecting with others and getting, again, like that
Mhm.
community that you can lean on. If you're having trouble with something or you want to share exciting, you have that community or network that you can share that with.
Yeah.
Um, Everybody has different experiences and everybody has different knowledge. And the funny thing about horses, right? 9 plus 9 is what? Or 5 plus 5 is 10. But
Mhm.
also, so is 6 plus 4. You know, so it's the same thing with horses. Everybody has, it's not one set way. You can figure out different ways, and everybody has a different solution or a different technique or a different like hint of, oh, I tried this and it worked, or and so I'm excited about having that connection.
Mhm. Awesome. Awesome. Why do you think, I mean, you've kind of been on the inside of, all of the ramblings I've had about kinship and emails and everything that I'm sending out.
Mhm.
Why do you think a gathering like that, I've been saying this is a conference for Black horse folk, anybody can come, but know that this conference is for Black horse people. It's designed for them, it's designed to cater to them, it's designed to platform them. Why do you think something like this is necessary right now?
Because we're dwindling, and as I said before, those farmers are getting older. Where is that knowledge being passed down to?
Mhm.
And we have questions, and sometimes we can't just walk into a room and when it came to, what were we just talking about? We were talking about the difference, seeds,
Oh yeah. Mhm.
and you were just, and I was like, oh wow, I didn't know that. And so I feel as though all of us can will pick up something, and we need that. We need those conversations.
Mhm. Yeah, there is so much when I went to get my animal science degree and then also like had this experience of experiencing horses with uh black horse people, black cowboys, and like the knowledge coming from both places. I'm
Mhm.
like, this is not a promotion of what I'm about to say. I'm just giving an example of, handling colic in a very like academic way, right? It's like, okay, you get your
Mhm.
Banamine, you walk okay, cool. And then it's like, yes, I gave him a beer to help him pass the gas and I walked him around and it's like, I mean, if it
Yeah.
works,
Good.
it works.
Yes, yes. I'm
So
glad you said it because I was thinking about those things too. Like things have changed and we know more. So
mhm.
when you know more, you do better.
Yeah.
And we need that. We need that.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, I learned just because the knowledge comes from like this academic source doesn't mean that it's 100% accurate. That just means that's what was
Correct.
chosen to
Yep.
study. And when our communities
Hmm.
aren't prioritized in how study and how research is happening, of course, we're not going to get the information that comes from our communities. We're not going to get information that comes from indigenous people if their perspective is not prioritized and funded. So,
Yeah.
who the stories come from, who the information comes from is just so important in, you know, passing down that like that wisdom that you might not be able to get in a textbook, right? Um
Yeah. Yep.
okay. So what do you hope that people will get from your talk at the kinship conference?
That's a really good question. That's a really good question. And I do feel that my answer is going to change.
Mhm.
Um, so I'll say something today, but when I get there and I meet everyone, it's kind of like I pick up on what needs to be shared that's going to be most beneficial to the group.
Yeah.
So I'll say this, but I'm pretty sure when I get there, it might be something different.
Okay. Okay.
But what I feel as though when someone walks away and they meet me, first thing is, wow, she is very kind. And I do want that to be known. I'm very kind.
Mhm.
And then the next thing is support, I guess you would
Mhm.
say. Like, uh, call me up and we can um, bump heads about different ideas, and then vice versa. I want to be able to talk to you, and you learn from each person that you meet. And that's what I really enjoy. I have found when it comes to teaching. Um, I've always told my students that one, you're going to learn more from your horses than you are from me.
Mhm.
They're our greatest teachers. I always used to say that they're professors too. And then for me, I said, you all teach me just as much as the horses teach you.
Mhm.
And it's just everybody has a different background, everybody has something different to share. And I just think when you are open minded like that, you can be open to uh, being a good person, I guess.
Yes. Yes,
You
I completely agree with that. Um what is something that you want the next generation of riders to understand, or not even just riders, but riders, coaches, um industry professionals. What do you want them to understand about what it means to coach people through their horsemanship journeys, through their riding journeys?
First things first is we do it out of love.
Mm,
We really do.
mhm,
And it's that want and desire to help you. If I don't get anything out of it. I don't get anything out of it. Um, so you're talking about, oh, I'm doing these clinics for free. Oh, I'm not doing it for the money. I'm helping you. I'm lending my knowledge, my experience, and I'll give you. And I'm not going to say that I know everything. We
mhm,
might bump heads and figure something out together.
mhm, mhm,
um, but we're we coach out of love, and if you talk to any of the really good coaches, they'll say the same thing. They coach out of love, and then wanting to help people.
mhm,
When it came for students, for me, it's 4 years is there. It's a big chunk of their life. It's a really serious part of their life, and having someone, you don't know their background, some you do, some you don't know their background, and being able to know that you have that person in your corner that you can call up and be like, hey coach, they still call me coach.
mm,
And you've graduated, you're older, you have a family, you're married, and
mm,
they're like, hey coach. um, Still like, hey coach, I have this athlete, she's having trouble with this, what would you suggest? And or even life events like, hey, I am going through this, what is your tip on how to get through this? And
mhm,
sometimes I'm like, oh, I've never experienced that, but we can talk it out.
mm,
So just being able to be a support system, or having knowing that someone has your back,
yeah,
because all it takes is just knowing that you have one person that has you,
yeah,
that's got you.
yeah. I love that. I love that. Well, we are headed to the end of our episode. I am bringing something back that I kind of stopped doing a few seasons
Sure.
ago. So this
Oh,
is
okay.
called the Derby round. It is like a lightning round, quick questions, quick answers. It's nothing crazy. But I was like, I want to bring this back because I love hearing people's responses to these questions. So we are going into the Derby round. All right. What
Okay.
what does the perfect day off look like to you?
The perfect day off. Ooh, sleep in. Okay, so if I sleep in, I'm still gonna wake up at 7,
Right.
or yeah, sometimes earlier. I I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna sleep in," and yeah, no.
Same.
But it's okay. So sleeping in with no alarm. There you go.
Mhm.
Sleep in with no alarm. More like a slow morning. Sleep in with no alarm. Have my coffee. Talk to my mom. Have breakfast. Actually, make a breakfast. So like eggs, pancakes. Make a breakfast instead
Mhm.
of something like a quick yogurt on the way out.
Mhm.
And then so I have dogs, so something with the dogs, whether that's a walk or a run, a bike, something like that. I love to do something in the morning that way. And then come back, a nice shower. Um, this is a really good question. Because, yeah, I'm trying not to involve horses, but it's going to involve horses somewhere.
I had a feeling. I had a feeling this would be a hard question for you to answer.
Yes. But
Okay.
so far, where I'm working, our day off is on a Sunday, and I've really enjoyed that,
Mhm.
because we get up in the morning, have coffee, like a little cute routine. Then we go to church, and then come back from church. My dad comes up. We have lunch. We work on the house, and then have dinner, and then I go to bed.
I love that.
So
I love that. A
Yeah.
smooth and easy Sunday. Okay, next
Mhm.
question. Do you prefer morning rides or afternoon or evening rides?
Morning rides.
Yeah, cool. What
Yeah.
what is a technique that you use in your coaching that you feel is underrated?
Um, hmm. A technique that I use that's a little underrated. Ooh, I don't okay, I don't know if it's underrated. I think
Uh-oh, I think I lost her. Oh man, that was going to be such a good answer. I know it was.
yay, we're back.
Okay, we're back. We're back. I can almost see you. I can hear you. I can't see you just yet. Um, but that's all right. We're
Oh,
gonna keep it rolling. Um, so we didn't get to hear
okay.
your answer to that question.
Okay. So I do like a reflection after the ride, and I always say one thing you liked about your ride and one thing that you would like to work on. And every starts off with I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I correct them because and to fully acknowledge that what they're feeling, it's what they're feeling. It's not wrong. So this is what you feel. Don't say I think. Say I
Mm-hmm.
feel this way. I need to work on this. This was really good. And once they start changing how they talk about themselves or what they said about their ride, it changes them as a rider actually. So it's like a little tweak that I do because everybody says that. I think I did this. And it's like, no, that's what you felt. Be confident about it.
Yeah.
Then let's talk about it.
Yeah, yeah, that changing of that mindset. I always say words mean things. So
Yeah.
say the words that make sense. Say the words that are true for you.
Yes.
So I absolutely love that. What is the worst barn habit you've ever had to break, whether it be your habit or a habit that your horse has had?
Ooh, that's a good question. A worst habit that I had to break. Oh, you know, it's like a big pet peeve too. When they try to go in before you in the stall.
Mhm.
Yeah. So make that they like so the whole way it's even going to the paddock, going in the stall, outside of the stall. It's like
Mhm.
I'll make them halt, I'll make them back up, I'll make them do something because I do not like that when they try to overrun you and lead you into the stall. So then it's a huge pet peeve of mine if you have people bringing in horses and then they just
Mhm.
let them go in because it's
Yeah.
dangerous. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Okay. What is one piece of
Yeah.
tack you refuse to cheap out on?
Ooh, One Piece? One
Choose
Piece?
one.
One Piece? Oh gosh. Because I feel ah, okay, One Piece. I guess I'll say the girth then. Yeah.
You know, that is a major influence for literally every other piece. So I can appreciate that.
What would you
Um,
say? I'm sorry. What do you think? That's a really good question. I had to think about that.
um, I am such a laissez-faire rider. Like, I'll ride bareback to just get it done because I don't feel like going to get the saddle, So it's just I
Yeah.
just have a different relation. So it's not a piece of tack, but my trailer. It's
Oh,
it's not
okay.
tack, but I'm
Yeah.
like, this is the baby carrier. We make sure
Yeah.
the baby
Yeah.
carrier is fine.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would totally change my answer now after I agree with you on the trailer. I'm changing my answer.
Okay, okay, sounds good. And the next time I do this, I'll tweak the question a little bit so it can include trailers because that's very important. Um, all right, so we all know that kind of, when it comes time to show or
No.
perform,
Okay. Okay.
when it comes time to show or perform, we can sometimes get the jitters. What is something that you do to prepare yourself or your students for the pressure of competition?
Oh, absolutely. So all of them are different. Um, and so we do talk about that early on of what gets them going, what makes them feel confident.
Mhm,
And some they like to, when it comes to students, I'll talk about students first.
mhm,
Some students like to just kind of go be by themselves for a minute.
mhm,
And I tell them that's perfectly fine. They're not being antisocial. They're getting themselves in the zone
mhm,
and focus. And so I've had some where they go, it's not that they are away on their phone. They are just away and they're watching, they're listening, meditating, and they're getting in the zone. Then I have some, they want to have fun. They want to laugh, they want to dance, they want to joke. I'm all for it. I'm their go to for that. So we'll have jokes, we'll have a good time. That's fine. So we have some that are like that. And then I have some where I don't want them to I teach independence. So there
mhm,
are some that want me at every corner, talk about every single step. So I feel as though we talk about that early so they feel more prepared. And then they need to go. I will tell them to go of the ring. If it's a jump course, go to a place where you can see the whole course. Close your eyes and envision the plan that we discussed earlier that week.
mhm,
And so some will do that. And then we have some that they just they want to go in and just do it, and they just want me to say, "Go have
mhm,
fun," and that works for them. So each of them are different. Um, so for me, um, I am I like yeah, it's more of I've always been like a just kind of relaxed, just listen to mainly growing up it was talking to my mom
mhm,
and she was always at every single show. And so that's kind of and even when I would compete, it would be talking to her, but not before the competition, but at least the night before,
mhm.
and just it's not like talking about the show, it's just hearing her voice, talking, just talking to her.
Yeah.
And then going in the ring, it's like I'm just like, it's showtime, you know? So it's fun. But everybody's different. Now, I do have to say, as a coach, mentality, I did have to learn, and really, this is where I said the students taught me more than Um, so their show style, if they had jitters or what worked for them.
Mhm.
So we would kind of go through different plans or ideas of what would work for them. And that taught me a lot because at first I'm like, why don't you just go do it? I don't understand. The jumps aren't going to eat you, you know, but
Mhm.
no, that's not the case. Everybody's different.
Yeah, very true, very true. What is one, I don't know, video or movie or book that you would recommend everyone reading, watching, listening to, if they want to get better at writing?
Um, okay, so like a team book or as a person, I loved The Difference Maker by John Maxwell.
Okay.
That was a really good book. I really enjoyed that. And then as a writer, um, I can't just pick one. There's been several that I really enjoyed for different reasons. Um, there's a lot of is.
Mhm.
Um, I would say the inspirational one, and I'm having a little bit of brain fog, is I'm actually going to look that up right now. He was a polo player. That book was really inspirational, and he talked about growing up in a hard neighborhood.
Mhm.
Um, I'm going to look that
Ka
up
Kareem
because it
Ross's
was it
book?
was really good. Yes, yeah, yeah, yep, yep, yeah,
Yes. I also can't remember what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
yes.
All right, and the last question in the lightning round.
Oh, I didn't mean to. It's called Crossing the Line.
Crossing the lines. Yes.
Crossing the
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I had in my mind, I was like, "It's line
Okay.
something." I was like, "What line is there in polo?
Mhm.
Chucker line? No, it's not called chucker line." So, I'm glad you pulled that up. Awesome. Okay. What is one word that you would use to describe what horses have taught you about people?
Ooh. Patience.
Mm, I love that.
Patience.
That's so true. So true. Well, Coach Brown, thank you so much for joining me on a live episode. This is something new that we're trying out, and I love how it went. I will just say, I don't know if you remember Allison Williams. She said that she
What?
wants y'all to come back. She wants you to come back to Kansas City. Okay. So she is probably gonna be in your inbox somewhere sometime to get you back to Kansas City.
She is amazing. I did a clinic up there. It was wonderful. She's amazing.
I love that. I love that. So, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story and sharing your wisdom. And I absolutely cannot wait for you to join us at the Kinship Conference to do the same for even more Black horse folk around that are coming from around the country. So thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me on.
Of course. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.